Citizens. My name is Melissa Heyman. I'm one of your wellness coordinators here at Citizens Energy Group, as well as a registered dietitian nutritionist and certified diabetes educator. Today, I'm going to share with you how to make a summer quinoa salad. So you might be asking yourself, what is quinoa? Well, quinoa is a grain similar to rice. Also similar to rice is the way that we cook it. So we're gonna bring water to boil and then put our dried quinoa in there. We're gonna bring it back to boil, put a lid on, and cook it for about 15 minutes until all the water is absorbed. Now, different than rice, quinoa is gonna have a much higher protein content as well as iron content, and sometimes a higher fiber content depending on what type of rice you're choosing. So first for our salad, we're gonna make our quinoa. Now, quinoa is a little bit different than rice in that we wanna rinse the quinoa first. So I'm just gonna take my cup of quinoa and put it in a sieve or a colander. It's gonna have to be pretty small, so a sieve is gonna work better. And we're gonna rinse that for about a minute in running water. Just from the faucet is fine. Now, the reason why we rinse it is that quinoa has a compound on it called saponin. It is not harmful to humans, but it's not gonna let the quinoa cook up like it would like rice. So we want to make sure that it absorbs all that water and gets nice and fluffy. And that saponin is on there. It's a little coating on the grain that keeps birds and insects from eating it. So it's very beneficial for the quinoa, but it doesn't cook up great when we're trying to use it. So you're going to want to put the quinoa into a sieve and rinse it for about a minute. So after we've rinsed the quinoa, we're going to bring 2 cups of water to boil. And then we're gonna add that cup of rinsed quinoa into the boiling water. We're gonna bring it back to a boil. And then once it's boiling, you're gonna take it down to a simmer, put a lid on it. It's gonna take about 15 minutes for that quinoa to absorb all that water. And even if you've never heard of quinoa, it's actually pretty easy to find. Most grocery stores carry it now. You can find it pretty much exactly where you're gonna find rice in grocery stores. So you're gonna find it there. It's spelled Q-U-I-N-O-A. So while the quinoa is cooking, we're going to make our dressing. We're gonna start with 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. We're gonna add the juice of 1 lime. Now, if you have already store-bought lime juice, that works as well. So we're gonna add our lime here. And then we're gonna add salt and pepper, and that's it. So really easy dressing for this. And then we're gonna mix this, and we'll get some veggies into our quinoa and stir it all up. So now we have our quinoa. It's fluffed up very nicely. It's absorbed all the water. So again, that was 2 cups of boiling water and 1 cup of rinsed quinoa for about 15 minutes. And then this is the summer part of our summer quinoa salad. You really can add whatever veggies you have at home, but I know our favorites right now in Indiana are tomatoes, Indiana corn, so we're gonna use those. So I have some chopped tomatoes. These are actually cherry tomatoes, but if you have some ripe tomatoes from your garden, all the better. So we're gonna add about 2 cups of tomatoes. You can add more or less, it's really up to you. We're gonna add about 2 cups of corn. Now this I did cut from the cob. If you don't have corn on the cob, you could even use frozen corn, will work just as well. We're gonna add a chopped jalapeno. If you don't want it spicy, you don't have to. If you have some green peppers or red peppers in your garden, it would go beautifully with this salad as well. I'm gonna add some cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you could do mint, you could do basil. Any of the herbs would really work well with this. And then we're gonna add some chopped avocado. Again, we're gonna add some healthy fats here, lots of monounsaturated fats with our avocado. And then we're gonna add our dressing. And the reason why I called this the summer quinoa salad is really you can do anything you want with this. So whatever veggies you have in the garden, you can change it to your taste. So if you don't like cilantro, like I said, you could use basil or mint. If you're going to use something like the basil and maybe a mozzarella cheese, maybe you would swap out the lime for a lemon, and instead of using the cumin, you would use some garlic. So really it's just changing a few things to make the taste meld and really to make it more personalized to you and what you like. Because we all like different things. And for this this salad, you could add some black beans that would add some protein with it, as well as you could add some feta cheese or grilled chicken to make it a meal. But this really, you can adjust this and it's very flexible. So I hope you get to try it and let me know what combinations that you make. I'd love to try those as well.